Okay, everyone, here's what's going on. I am still testing the Linksys Wi-Fi router, and I'm trying to determine whether or not it is better than the Netgear, because I don't need something chugging. So, let me go ahead and give you guys a quick overview. I don't have my screen capture stuff up and running, except for Fraps, so we're going to go ahead and go through this. When you first log on to the Netflix screen, you get this. This is not a bad display. Now, Netflix may not have the gusto when it comes to super stress testing, but they've done a lot for the interface. And what I like is it's very clear, very nice color choices, a lot of information up front. The um, the parental stuff, weirdly enough, you have to download some apps for that, but it shows that we've got priority going here. You've got your list of devices cleanly laid out. You're actually able to change the icons. You're allowed to get some information on a device. That tells you a little bit of information. Well, that didn't tell me a lot of information. Let's go here. That tells me some information on the device, which is nice. And you can see the guest network, which is also nice. Um, had some problems with my guest network, but it seems to be kind of working now. Uh, okay, parental controls. You've got always specific times. That's kind of nice. I mean, if you're trying to lock out things, they're called parental controls, but it could very well be any device on your network. If you've got a roommate you don't want doing certain things at certain times, or maybe you don't want certain services running, like the Xbox going off and looking at stuff. That way you can control how much data gets sucked down at a time, which is useful. Prioritizing. This is where I had her machine first over my machine, and we're going to go ahead and change that. Now my machine has priority over hers. Yesterday, hers went seamless during our Star Wars test. I ran 2 units, there we go, 2 units had some Netflix going, 2 machines had Star Wars going, and we had a YouTube running simultaneously. I experienced a lot of chop in areas I wouldn't expect. Not so much chop, but just glitching a little bit. A little bit of, oh yeah, chop. We'll call it chop. Now you've got devices here. You drag them up to say what priority was next. And I kind of like it. As the interface goes, I like how this goes. And of course you've got speed test, and you can run that. My internet's not terribly fast, um, but it's fast enough to get me from where I need to go. This type of stuff's not important. But USB storage, again, I've got a 1.4 terabyte hooked up, and it sees it, and I get these choices here. So this is kind of what your interface is going to look like. Now down here is where you talk about your router security, your router, stuff like that, and you've got your internet settings, your local settings, just like you would expect in an administration. Now, allowing remote access, which is kind of cool, you can turn that off, and it's a little more streamlined. If you don't know how to do it, you're looking how to do it, like you can do this with any router. You can open up a small hole in your firewall and only you know how to get in. But Linksys has solved a lot of that for you. Now under troubleshooting, once it comes up, you've got your diagnostics where you can go ahead, like you're not sure about host, you can ping them and that kind of stuff. Your logs, all that good stuff. Um, the diagnostics are a little on the limited side for me, but your basics are there. And of course your filtering. I do like this. They are setting up for near field communication. So they've got it so that your routes bring somebody up close and you're able to utilize that. Now since near field is not here yet, that's very future thinking of them. And then of course under security, you've got all the basics. And they check a lot of stuff for you. You get a DMZ and app and gaming. So apps and gaming. So that's interesting. I haven't really played with that too much. Maybe I should. Alright, so that's the interface right here. If you have any questions, please feel free. Now, this is a web interface, so they're using software as a service. Although it is talking to my local machine, you can't access it if you can't get out to the internet, unless you directly funnel into the machine. But um, I mean, you can access it, but if you lock yourself out, it checks with the server, and it's a hard 2 hours. You can't just unplug the machine and try and log back in. But it's a very clean interface. I've been very pleased with that. If this machine performed a little bit better, by contrast, I'd probably be keeping it. So that's it. If you have any questions, please let me know. And also, I think we're going to try and attach some clips of the gaming so you can see the game clipping. All right, thanks. Hey, I almost forgot. If you want to buy apps for it, they have something of a limited app store. The only thing that I have a problem with this is it's not really an open source community. So there are upgrades for it. That's the good news. The bad news is that you pay money for it. Like this app right here is $2.99. But there are a lot of apps. Some are free, some you pay for. And then I showed you a clip of the phone app, I believe. Okay, I forgot to show you this, or it didn't work out. Anyways, this is their online app that you would use for your phone. They actually have one for the Kindle. Netgear does not have one for, at least not for the Kindle One. It's actually pretty nice. It's easy to read on the Kindle. So you got the parental controls. That of course takes you to the App Store. You can see all your storage. And then if you want more of a detailed look, you've got this kind of interface. So just, really quick, this is what it looks like. Looks the same on the phone. Gives you your up marks, and you can restart the machine by remote if you need to. So I wanted to give you a quick look at that, and there you go. Okay, now during the game testing, which I told you guys about, where I was running all these things, I was running Star Wars in 2 games, a YouTube off of the second screen of my laptop, as well as using Chrome, as well as 2 tablets, one running YouTube, one running Netflix. I'm sorry, I was running using Chrome to run Netflix. What I did notice is although there was some minor, just minor with the Linksys disruption, it wasn't bad. Just a little bit of hiccuping, not even stopping, just hiccuping. I tried to get some video for it, but apparently of all that things, the thing that messed up the most was my FRAP file. So all in all, if you are not going to be just pushing hardcore data through this thing, I think the Linksys would be ideal, particularly if you're getting it for a relative who's not as computer savvy or something where you might need to access it remotely. It's a pretty decent product. Um, Personally, I think for my own self, I would go with maybe the Netgear 6250, or right now I'm testing the ASUS. So I'll let you guys know.